It's time for another installment of the basics, and today I'm going to take you through the different card types that are contained in the X-Files CCG. Now, there are 9 different card types that do drastically different things in this game, and I'm going to show you what they are and what they do. So let's get to it. Even though the X-Files is a very fun card game to play, it is also difficult because it involves a lot of detective work, a lot of thinking, and you really have to be cunning. The object of the game is to figure out your opponent's X-File card through unearthing clues during missions and asking questions every so often to bring you closer to finding out what it is. Your agents are the ones that are out there going to location cards, unearthing clues, using this various skills they have listed to try and help you figure out your opponent's X-File. This is the X-File card. There are many, many different X-Files. If you've watched the show, it's easier to explain. The X-Files are usually main plot points of the shows, and this is what you and your opponent are struggling to find out from each other, is what your X-File is. Now, your agents have to go to sites. Sites contain the clues, and they're the basis for the game. You're spending a lot of time on the sites, but to figure out what's going on in these sites, you need equipment. It could be anything from, like this card, a cellular phone, a flashlight, a radio, a gun, even something as crazy as a vehicle to help get you between sites. The only problem with that is, while you're on sites, your opponent can play combat cards. So this is basically how the fighting works in the game. Combat can be anything from punching, kicking, blocking, sneaking up, ambush, all of that. Through the course of the game, witnesses help you get closer to your objective of finding out your opponent's X-File. They offer attributes that will help you ask those questions to figure out the X-File. As that's going on, there are event cards that you and your opponent will be playing that will help move the game along. They'll either help or hinder you depending on what stage of the game you're at. Same goes with bluffs. Bluffs are there to get in the way. You're going to be taking and adding away counters with that. Bluffs are important, but as someone who's played the game, they're also a pain in the ass the way they come up. Adversaries are the biggest problem because this is the core way that your opponent's going to try to stop you from completing said mission to find out his X-File. There are lots of adversaries. Be prepared. Be very prepared. And that pretty much explains the card types for the X-Files CCG. Like I've been saying, it's a very complicated game, but it's fun. You have to use a lot of skills to get to the point where you can figure out your opponent's X-File and win the game. It's not easy. There are many X-File cards. It could be one of anything, and it does take a while to play this game, and this is, I'm just speaking at this point of the basic game. There's actually an advanced rule set. I'm not getting into that because it's even more extensive, and that's where all the counters and the tokens come in. It gets painful. So if you're going to start out playing X-Files, start with the basic game. It's your best bet. Have a great day, everybody.